Welcome back, guys. Today I'm gonna be telling you my top 10 tips on succeeding in vet school. Short, sweet, and to the point, but these are essential things that I think has helped me and will also help you do well in vet school, no matter what school you go to. First tip in surviving vet school is today for today. So this phrase my school uses a lot, and it basically implies that whatever you learn today, you should review and focus on that material. You know, like the 4 classes you had in the morning, review them when you get home. And I'm not saying like review, like study like hardcore in-depth notes, spend a whole night, like go in class, come home and complete like class all over again. No. The whole key to this is to not fall behind and prevent cramming. Today for today basically prevents cramming beforehand, and it helps your brain absorb all the material that gets thrown at you in vet school. Number 2, find your study technique that works best for you without wasting too much time. Now hear me out. Everyone has told me to master my skills for studying in undergrad, because once you come to vet school, you need to know what you're doing. And to a certain point, yes, that's true. But the stuff you learn in vet school versus undergrad is completely different. So honestly, my studying techniques that I've been doing now, completely opposite of what I did in undergrad. And I was an okay student in undergrad. So figure out your best way to learn the material that gets thrown at you and stick with it. Even if it's different than the person sitting next to you. If it works for you and it saves time, go for it. And what I mean by saving time is, say you love Quizlets. Don't waste your time making the Quizlet. Find Quizlets from past students, from last term students. Kahoot games if you want to make things more interesting. Find Kahoots that were already made. So you're learning the way you like to learn. You're not wasting valuable time in making them, you know? Again, key is to prevent cramming and feeling like you're rushing or don't have enough time for everything. Number 3. This is my absolute favorite, and I live by this code in everything that I do. My whole life I've lived by this code, is sleep. Okay? Yes, there are some people that love to pull all-nighters, or they can run on 2 hours of sleep. I do not recommend. I do not recommend. There are days where, yeah, I'm not moving or physically doing things, but sitting down and lecture for like 5 hours straight is extremely exhausting. Extremely exhausting. So if you need to treat yourself to a nap some days, treat yourself to a nap. If you feel exhausted and you can't pull an all-nighter studying, don't. Go to sleep, wake up early the next day, and I promise you, you will feel so much better and you'll be able to retain a lot more. So sleep. Number 4, call your friends, call your family, call all your loved ones, FaceTime your pets, do whatever you need to do to feel like you're at home again, because it's so easy to get lost in the chaos of school. And I guess this applies even for undergrad too, if you're moving away or whatever situation is. But I think it's very, very important to talk to the people that you love, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that help you get through it. Number 5, try new things. Things that terrify you, do it. Obviously don't like hurt yourself, but try new things. For me, I'm living on an island. I will probably not have this opportunity again, so I'm going to travel to waterfalls. I'm gonna go snorkeling. I'm gonna go on boat rides. I'm gonna go fishing. I'm gonna try local foods. Like, try new things. And it doesn't have to be an all-day event. It could just be an hour or 2 out of your day, but those activities are gonna alter your brain in a whole nother way. You're gonna make memories. You're gonna feel happy, rejuvenated to go back and study. Number 6, schedule. Keep a schedule. I don't care if you're a person that's never used an assignment pad or a calendar a day in your life. You're gonna need it. From the simplest of thing to following your school curriculum or the hours in a day that you're gonna be in class, you gotta follow that. Stick to it. Don't, you know, like skip class and be like, oh, we'll get to it later. No, stick to the schedule. And then I don't personally do this, but I know a lot of my classmates that do, where you can schedule out certain times in the day where you're like, okay, this block I want to study, this block I want to rest, this block I'm saving for gym time or taking a nap, and then from this time to that time I need to study. yeah, it's not always gonna be perfect, but having a schedule for you to mentally keep note of helps you manage your time, do everything that you want to do in a day, and also prioritize, because that's key. Sometimes you just can't get to everything. So keeping a schedule, I think, is crucial. Number 7, ask for help. Asking for help can be pretty challenging. If you're too stressed, or you need company, or you feel lonely, call home. Tell them you're feeling down, or if you're stuck on some material in class and you feel so overwhelmed and you have no idea what's going on, ask a friend, ask your classmate. Heck, email your professor. Like, there are people here to help you, and you should not be struggling on your own. Don't struggle on your own. There's no shame in asking for help. I promise you, it's how you will grow as a person and learn more. Ask for help. It gets you very far. Number 8, avoiding imposter syndrome. Number 8 is funny. It is so real. Imposter syndrome is so real. And I think in the beginning, it's at its peak because you're sitting there in a classroom comparing yourself to all your classmates, and you're like, wow, how the hell am I here? Like, how did I get here? I don't know everything. I don't know what the heck this professor's talking about. Like, maybe I shouldn't be here. Don't do that. Stop comparing yourself to others. You got to this point and you deserve to be here. You will learn everything, don't worry. And no one knows everything, okay? There's not one person in the world that knows everything. So stop putting yourself to those high standards of knowing everything. I feel like I'm talking to myself with this because I go through this on the daily. There's times where you don't feel it as much, and there's days, maybe even weeks, where you feel it so strongly where you're like, I give up, like I don't want to do it. But fixing that, you can daily affirmations, remind yourself why you're here. You deserve it. Talk to yourself. You deserve to be here. Remember that. Number 9, this is a study tip. Whiteboard and talk out loud. We get taught so many doctor words, and if you don't verbally use those words, you're less likely to use them. You know what I mean? So yes, when we talk to our clients, we're going to be using simple terms that they understand, but when we talk to other doctors, you want to be able to describe and use those doctor words that we're paying so much money for, you know? Like, we're being taught all this information. The best way to retain it and be able to use it properly, I think, is to either write it out or speak it out. That helps in the long run. And finally, number 10, apply for grants. Find ways to pay off your loans. You may be like me, where you want to just push everything to a later date and worry about it later on. While yes, that is okay to do sometimes, because you don't want to stress too much about the future when you're dealing with today. However, if you can get $100, $1,000, a few $100 from any type of grant, do it. Do it. Just do it. You'll thank yourself later. It's a little less money you have to worry about in the grand scheme of everything. And these dogs, even if you're using loans or relying on loans, if you don't need the full amount that they had granted you, maybe calculate your spendings, and if you don't need to pull the whole amount, don't pull the whole amount, you know? Even if it's short by like $1,000, $2,000, that will save you. You know, like in the long run, every little bit counts. So apply where you can, get money, save money where you can, a little bit. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, you know? Not everyone has the money to pay for vet school. I don't think I know one person who has the money to pay for vet school. It's a lot, but think about it. Even just start thinking about it. That's my tip for number 10. Think about your finances. And just like that, those are my top 10 tips on surviving vet school and succeeding. Down to studying tips and emotional tips and financial tips. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helped those out there who just got into vet school and don't know where to start. But I just want to let you know there is hope and you got this. One quick reminder though, like the key tip to surviving vet school is remember why you're doing it and the fact that you got here is amazing. I truly believe the hardest step is to get into vet school, and then everything else will just follow. People have graduated. There are vets out there, so it is possible. It's not impossible to become a vet. And I truly believe the hardest part is getting into a school, and then once you get into the school, easy sailing. As long as you focus on why you're doing it, you don't fall behind, and you stay true to yourself, you will succeed in vet school. Promise you. You are where you need to be and where you want it to be, and everything else will fall into place. Yep, those are my tips for surviving vet school and doing very well. And I have so much faith in all of you guys, so keep up the hard work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Be like, this is horrible. For surviving vet school. Today for today. Seriously? Speaking of calling family. Hey, Mom. Oh, wait.